Virgo, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channel messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy birthday. I hope your season is off to a great start. I hope you're celebrating and feeling loved and honored and blessed in all the right ways. So far, we're only 2 weeks in-ish, not quite, but we're headed into a full moon. There's a lot that's happening a little bit more than usual this week. Last week's kind of felt like a segue from Leo season into Virgo season, and now we're really starting to get our feet wet, so to speak. Like I said, astrologically, there's a lot going on, or more than we saw last week. We're headed into that full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces next Sunday. And lunar eclipse really highlight places that we need to do some internal work, internal change and adjustment. And that definitely has been the theme of the readings this week, where yes, as much as we maybe want to point the finger and blame or whatever, which might be completely valid, completely legit, at the same time, we also need to kind of find our own responsibility in things as well. And that's so that we can make the necessary changes and adjustments accordingly. If we're always thinking it's other people, well, there might be things that we're missing out of that equation. And that really ends up just like kind of disconnecting us from what we want, what we desire. None of this is very easy. It's so much of those planets in retrograde that I was talking about. All the outer planets are dealing with spiritual, deeper truths, evolutions, growth that we're all moving through. And it is a little bit humbling. Thankfully, Virgo energy helps to keep us solid, balanced, focused on providing a good foundation of strength, health, well-being, investing in those places so we're not running ourselves ragged, or we're not so apathetic that we're like too afraid to do anything. But that's also why I like to start these readings off with an energy cleansing, just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a great time to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a really great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in that rebalancing of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Like I've been talking about, when we're aligned, balanced, connected with ourselves, that's where we're able to manifest or achieve our goals, our desires, draw in those things that bring us happiness, fulfillment, abundance. We all deserve that, right? And I would love to help support in whatever way possible, Virgo. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may hear or see and hear, understand the messages clearly, help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Amen. All right, Virgo. So I feel like you might be avoiding some help, or you like need help in a certain area. I'm not saying this in a patronizing way, like you need some help with that. You know, it's more this value of like delegation, where we need to lessen the burden, lessen the load on ourselves. When we are so piled high with all this duty, all this responsibility, it really can make decision making very confusing, right? And I do feel like there is this lack of clarity around a person, around a situation, because I'm also getting this energy of resistance, right? Like I'm getting just this energy of resistance. Maybe there's something that you don't want to acknowledge, or that you're not acknowledging, or like also I'm hearing for some of you a belief, right? A belief that might not be true. You know, as simply put, it might just be one of those things that you so badly want to cling on to, but you know, intuitively, instinctually, that it's like not true, right? And I feel like spirit is, or it looks like this week, that spirit definitely is showing you some of these red flags, some of these warning signs that are popping up. And it's interesting because when I was doing the little intro part, it was like everything completely went silent and I could just hear that ringing in my ear. So to that point of those warning signs, red flags, I feel like Spirit's really asking you to take a beat, right? Don't move so quickly, or don't be so assured in something. Don't be, maybe there's more information you need to find out. Maybe there's questions that you can ask. This feels a little bit like stubbornness or rigidity, like just something that you don't want to let go of, but it's not coming from a place of love. It's not coming from a place of like truth and intuition and innate knowing, right? It's kind of coming from a place of like ego, right? And like just wanting to be right instead of just acknowledging what it is, right? Like I'm hearing for some of you, it might have been a bump along the road, right? Something happened, and it's almost like when we hold something over someone's head for too long, that's what it reminds me of. Or maybe you're blaming someone something. I don't know, whatever, you're having a hard time allowing love in right now. And again, I say it with love. A lot of the readings this week have been a little bit like heavy in terms of, again, it's that value of like we're being called out a little bit. And because we have this full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse, it's not going to be very forgiving. Or full moons always heighten energy. They always kind of exasperate where the disconnects are happening. Yes, it's about how we're manifesting, but then we're seeing very plainly what's working and what's not. And then as we move through the waning phases of the moon cycle, that's when we let go. That's when we let go of the things that aren't really serving us. And it feels like, I feel like to some capacity, and I'm sorry about this, but it looks like you do have to submit to some type of idea. I'm hearing like maybe, well, you coming in as the King of Wands, I feel like this is an energy that you're dealing with. I feel like maybe you're used to being in control, or in this situation, you're used to being in control. Or maybe like the one that's in the spotlight. Like someone might be stealing your spotlight a little bit and you're not liking it. Again, because, and this isn't to throw shade, I just want to reiterate that. But ego is a huge thing at play. And if anything, as I'm talking about this in the astrology, the places that we are finding tension are more on that mental, emotional, the ego, how we feel about something, how we want someone or something to see us, etc. And this is, the way it's showing up is that you feel like you're extending a hand of friendship, gratitude, commitment, appreciation, but that's not really how it's coming off. And whatever you're dealing with, we have Queen of Pentacles energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. They don't have to be earth sign. They can be. This is someone who, like I said, if you're not careful, if you're not mindful, this could get slippery very quickly. Who else got this? I think this is Taurus, maybe. Also had fire energy. You could be dealing with a Taurus. Doesn't have to be. But this is someone who's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Either you've had conversations or they're picking up on this energy. And this might be a little bit of a battle of, like I said, ego, yes, but of who's on top, right? Who's going to submit to whom? It feels not possible, even if this is kind of about hierarchy, like if this is a boss or, you know, an elderly figure, or someone in authority that you kind of have to submit to. It looks like this is a lot about meeting each other in that humanness space, right? Like casting away titles or, you know, whatever, like housing etiquette maybe to some capacity, and just like, you know, engaging in this dynamic human to human. Because I feel like that's where some of this is getting a little bit dicey. You could want someone to submit or to have it look a certain way, again, because that ego is coming into play. And it feels like that's more about you wanting that to prove the point, right? You want it to prove this point that, like, again, might just not be true. And where it is going to get a little dicey, like I said, is if it continues to move down on this road. Because there are some heads up. I'm not saying that this isn't a little bit messy. Everyone's playing a role to some capacity. But this is where we have to know what's ours and what's not. Not taking responsibility on for someone else's stuff. And I'm not sure I don't know. I'm not sure how much of a desire that is for everyone involved. Because Queen of Pentacles, whatever you're dealing with, looks like if it doesn't go in this way, and this isn't about them being rigid. I feel like they're just remaining open, other options, where you want it to be this one option. And that's where it could get a little bit dicey. There are some things that need to be looked at and forgiven. Some of this, let's see what this is for them. Okay. So, like I said, everybody played a role, right? And it looks like everyone played a role, right? Everyone contributed something. And we are kind of in this time, like I said in the beginning, where it's easier to like point the finger and blame. But the deeper message is about taking our own responsibility. And I feel like there's this need to continue to extend that hand of relationship, of forgiveness, new beginnings, a fresh start, letting the old be the old, especially if this is something that you're going to continue to move forward in. But if that is the case, Virgo, then you also need to open up or create a little bit more room for love, empathy, human behavior, right? And not that you're not, but sometimes we can just get so stuck in this, black and white thinking or how things should be or whatever, that it really just doesn't translate to like real life, because real life can be pretty messy. Also, maybe kind of understanding why this is hard to let go of control, why it's hard for you to make peace with where things are at or where things are. I am doing the work. I know that my future self will thank me for the hard work, 100%. It might not seem so appealing. That's just the nature of it right now in the collective. I mean, I think that's like our mind, our brain naturally gravitates towards things that are more comfortable, easier, etc. And so that's why the hard work or changing our perspective or doing the investigative work, getting the necessary information, asking the right questions, that's why that is so important, because it's actually helping build your future in a strong and supportive way. And what I was seeing about this topically is if you don't make those adjustments, then you're going to miss out on something that actually does hold a lot of value, something that you might not even see in this present moment because you're getting kind of wrapped up in the control aspect. I am trusting the process. I know that everything aligns for my highest good, even when it doesn't feel good, even when we do have to let go of control, even when we do have to forgive people, situations that we don't really want to forgive. I don't know that this has been an intentional attack on you. It doesn't necessarily look like that. it might be that someone was just completely unaware, and that might be where getting some more information could do you a world of good. I am secure. Finding that security in yourself, Virgo. I know that my finances will be taken care of even when I don't see how. It's not even financial, but it's like our emotional, when we can kind of let go, when we can submit to the process of life, let life play out and not try to hold, control, dictate so strongly how things move. That's where security is, right? That's where we can feel confident because we're always taken care of. We're always supported. Sometimes we just need to remind ourselves. Think about places that you were like really down and out and you bounced back. That's like the best way to remind ourselves that you can trust the process. That maybe it's not as horrible as what it comes off to be. And when you give yourself a little bit of freedom to understand that, when you invite in more love to the situation, more understanding, it really is breaking you free of some of this limitation. And then that's actually where like real control comes into play, when we feel strong, when we feel empowered, when we feel like we're doing a good thing, because it's not about forcing it to happen. It's like allowing all the right components to come into play so that it does happen, right? So I hope this helps, Virgo. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I hope it wasn't too heavy. I hope you enjoyed the reading, found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.